Why is it not connected to the irrigation system? Well, let me show you. Some of you are going to get upset with me for some of this, but that's okay. It's not your house. Today we're out to replace a 2 horsepower pump and an indexing valve. Yep, that's the part you're not going to be too happy with me about. Right now I'm digging it up, and what I could see above ground is that there are poly pipes going into the ground. So I let the customer know that there may or may not be problems with the poly pipe system after we install the new pump. That's because, like installing a new engine into an old car, the weakest points of the system will now be affected by that flashy new pump pushing all of that volume through the pipes. Man, I just put my customer through a whole explanation of how bad things can happen for nothing. Because look at what I discovered. Somebody transferred from PVC pipe to poly pipe right there on the indexing valve, right when it goes above ground. So the only poly pipe here is that 1 foot section right there, which is silly. We're not going to be leaving it like that. We're going to cut both of these pipes down in the ground. We'll extend them back out. New elbows coming up, PVC pipe to the new indexing valve and the new 2 horsepower pump. Let me put this phone back up on the tripod so you can watch me do that. We're going to start by disconnecting the wires and cutting the pipes to remove the pump. Yes, I turned off the power before doing so. And to double check, I used my multimeter and I tried turning on the clock to make sure that the pump wouldn't come on. All of that passed, so we're good to go. Instead of screwing on another brass check valve, I went with a female adapter so I can convert to PVC and install a PVC flap check valve here. One of the benefits of a PVC flap check valve is the orifice is a lot larger, so we won't have problems with shells getting caught inside of the check valve, causing the pump to lose prime. The 2 pipes sticking out of the ground will eventually get connected to the indexing valve. I backfilled this area so that when I put the pump onto the pad wouldn't fall over because I had opened the hole right next to that little pad. Now that I got all that secure and the indexing valve installed, I can go ahead and start installing the check valve. But before I make the final connection, I want to make sure that the pump is actually going to turn on. So I'm going to wire it in like you see me doing here, just so I can turn on the pump and make sure it runs. Why do I do this? Because there have been a few times where I've installed the whole pump, connected all the pipes, glued everything in, made it look beautiful, just to find out that the pump was not electrically sound. Now that I've confirmed that that's working, I can proceed with completing the job. And now I'm doing the discharge here. You see me connect the ball valve to the indexing valve, to a 90, to a T that has a hose bib on top of it that I'll be using to prime the pump. Now that you see me install the pump, let me show you what the problem with it was. You see all the rust right here? There's a shaft seal in between the volute of the pump and the motor itself, so that water does not make it into the motor. Well, that shaft seal has failed, and it allowed the water to leak down the motor until it corroded it out so much that the water was just dripping out of this part of the motor right here. This motor was shot. I'm surprised it was still even running, but it was leaking out the bottom. I left this person's house, and 2 hours later, he called me to tell me that the pump lost prime, just like I told him it would. Now we've got a new pump installed. Isn't she a beauty? Don't mind the indexing valve.